welcome back to a new video session. This is going to be second video session on chapter 9. We have covered some portion, some revision on first video session. Okay, so today's session we are starting from the coastal plain, and first we are going to discuss three physical division of India. Then we will discuss the drainage system, that means important river from India. Okay, before I move toward detailed discussion, I want to say that today's session basically we will have just overview on topic and what are the points, important points you will prepare for your unit 4 exams. Okay, but for detailed analysis you can watch those previous video session on this chapter. Okay, so we are starting from the coastal plain. So coastal plain, it is situated on the both side of India, that means in the eastern side and in the western side. So according to the situation of these location of these coastal plain, it is divided into two: western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. Okay, and it is also, it has two oceans, Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea, and we have seen them in maps as well, as we have completed the map work on this chapter. Okay, and these coastal plains are agriculturally very well, and they are developed. There you can get communication, then waterway, railway and industrial region as well. So from these coastal plain we need to prepare at least two important characteristics of coastal plain. Then we will mainly focus on the difference between the western coastal plain and the eastern coastal plain. Okay, next moving toward the Thar Desert. So we have read about the Thar Desert, that this desert is situated at the west portion of India, and the state that is situated or under the Thar Desert, that is the Rajasthan. Okay, and as why the area is became a desert, because there are scanty amount of rainfall. Okay, so the amount of rainfall is very less and the temperature is very high, so that is why it is desert, the Thar Desert. This is the main feature of Thar Desert, you can say as well. Okay, one significant river we can see here, that is Luni River, and it is carrying itself some little water. Okay, and as we can see the climatic condition from these Thar Desert, we can assume that the agricultural activity is not developed as we have seen in the coastal plain. So to develop the agricultural activity, or government try to settle people here, so that is why Indira Gandhi Canal is built here, and it is built on river Satluj and has changed some extent huge stretch of this desert and into fertile land. So the desert land is converted to fertile land by using the Indira Gandhi Canal, and this canal is very significant from this Thar Desert part. Yes, so that is it. From the Thar Desert we need to prepare the characteristics, important characteristics, or any significant river, then the canal, that is all. So we have reached to the last physical division, that is the island groups. So there are two island groups are there, we all know. These are the Andaman and Nicobar Island and then the Lakshadweep. And the Andaman and Nicobar Island is situated on Bay of Bengal. Around 550 islands consisting this Andaman and Nicobar, and it is separating by 10-degree channel. These are the important points. Okay, and Lakshadweep, where it is situated? Lakshadweep is situated on the Arabian Sea, and it is also island smallest union territory of the India. Okay, so that is it. Then the drainage system. Okay, so in the video session I have discussed about the drainage system in very details. I hope you all have watched that video. But here we will do a quick revision and what are the important points you need to prepare from the drainage, that we will see. So first of all, if we talk about the drainage of India, then we have to mention that first important thing, that the drainage of India can be divided into two parts, right? The the perennial river system and the non-perennial. And what are the perennial river system? Perennial river system is the North Indian rivers, and the non-perennial river system, that is the peninsular river system. And in the North Indian river or the Himalayan river, the North Indian river, we can call them as Himalayan river as well. Why? Because all the rivers are originated from the Himalaya, and there are three important rivers are there. These are the first, the Ganga, then the Brahmaputra, after that the Sindh. So these three important rivers are there in the North Indian rivers. Okay, so from this paragraph we may prepare the question that what are the two basic difference between the North Indian rivers and the South Indian rivers. Okay, so these difference we need to prepare that. First, North Indian rivers are perennial, whereas South Indian rivers are non-perennial. Then we can give examples of them. Okay, so that is it. We can write these 2 points as difference. So as I'm talking about the North Indian rivers, so three most important rivers we just discussed. So in river Ganga, in river Ganga we need to prepare the important tributaries, left bank tributaries, right bank tributaries. After that the origination, then the states from where it across, and then it meet to the Bay of Bengal. Like states are Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar. These are the states from where it is flowing. Then these are the small important things we need to prepare from the Ganga river system. Then Brahmaputra. So Brahmaputra's length, then it is originated from Mansarovar. After it has a name there, when it get its origination, it's Sangpo. Then it enters to India from the state, that is Arunachal Pradesh. Then it is flowing through Assam. After that it enters to Bangladesh. Then in Bangladesh, Ganga and Brahmaputra both meet and named as Padma river. These are the things we have covered. Okay, and then you will get tributaries of Brahmaputra. These are the Kopili, Dhansiri. These are the tributary names we need to prepare from here. Okay, so that is all about the north flowing river. Okay, next is south flowing rivers. So in south flowing rivers we will get also two divisions, like west flowing rivers and the east flowing rivers. And we read that the west flowing rivers has two important rivers. So these are the Narmada and Tapi, these two rivers. Okay, now the origination of these both river and some important features we need to prepare, like these two rivers are flown in a narrow rift valley between the Vindhya and Satpura. Yes, and they do not form any delta. So these kind of information from the river Narmada and river Tapi, which are the west flowing river of peninsular India, we have to remember. Okay, now the east flowing rivers. So in east flowing rivers we may find four major rivers. So these are the Godavari, Mahanadi, Krishna and Kaveri. Important points from these rivers, like Godavari is the most significant river from the South India. So it is also called as the Ganga of South. Okay, next the origin, then where it is ending its journey. These things for the four rivers we have to prepare. Okay, yes, so that is all about the drainage system you need to prepare from this chapter. Then you will get a box on rivers of North India, rivers of South India. So in that box, that is I'm talking about page number 129, in that box you will get a difference between these two rivers, north flowing and south flowing rivers. So you can prepare the answer from this box as well. Okay, so yeah, that is all about the chapter. I hope the chapter is clear to everyone. What are the points we need to prepare from this chapter? Next, you will see important terms. Okay, In page number 130 we will see important terms. In important terms there are definition of pass, then what is tributaries, then what is alluvial plain. These important terms also you need to prepare from this chapter. So students, that is all for today's revision video session. We didn't get in a detailed discussion, we just have an overview on this chapter and what are the points you need to prepare from this chapter we just discussed. If you still have any doubt from this chapter, you can ask me. I am clear to solve your doubts. Thank you all.